Welcome to the tea table. I am so happy you've joined me today. We're at the very, very beginning of beautiful December and beautiful Christmas. And I have with me two special little friends that are depicting this very first week of December. And we're listening to beautiful Christmas music, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. But this, I'm calling her Katerina. I don't know her name, but there she is. And she's a little Christmas doll, and I want you to see her little shoes. She has little red shoes. And she has plaid and gold and a beautiful golden braid. I'm going to put her forward so you can see her little face. And little white fur. And that golden braid. And I think Katerina depicts all of what we would consider European Christmas, Northern European Christmas, because she could be all the way from Russia to the Baltic countries, to Romania, to Germany, to Holland, up to Scandinavia, over to England, Scotland, Ireland. And she has that beautiful plaid with the green touches. Anyway, I am thinking about early December. To me is St. Nicholas Day, Lucia Bride up in Scandinavia, St. Lucia. And here we have, yes, everyone knows who this is, St. Nicholas. And isn't it interesting that both of these are really Christian holidays? St. Nicholas was a real person, and he helped the poor children and gave them candy, and he's from the Middle Ages. And it is, every country claims him, but he definitely came from the Eastern European countries. And I think I will just let him stay right here for now. And I thought I'm going to match them with a little white fur. And I have a wonderful classical Christmas channel from my local radio station called Classical King FM. And for December, they have done a 24-hour Christmas channel that any of you that are interested, you just go king.org or Classical King FM Seattle, and you can look for their Christmas station. I'm going to turn this down a little bit because it's a little bit, some of the songs get a little loud. But they have an incredible library, and I've always loved what they played on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day when they get into the real 24-hour. But there's so much going on those days. It's really hard to take time to listen. So I'm happy they did this. I have it on my iPad, so I'm not using up all my battery on my phone. And then I can listen to it on any device. You can put it on your computer as background music in your home and just leave your computer plugged in and it plays. Others have other devices, and you technical people know how to do it. So I think what I'm going to do is put little Santa back where I had him originally, over on this. This is my tea table in my sitting room. I put him over here so you can still see him, but he's not gonna, because we need to have the most important thing of all. We need to have our tea, right? And this is my little early tea tray, and I tried to choose red. Now this is also a very special Swedish horse that at all the Lucia bride events or Swedish events, Scandinavian or Norwegian, Danish, Finnish, they will have this horse on the table with maybe a doll like this, but with the candles on her head. St. Lucia wears candles. I'm going to put him back down. Trying to get it all on the tea table is tricky, isn't it? Yes. But we're doing our best. So, okay. I'm going to show you what else I put on my tea tray today. I found this bright red pot, and you know, really, it would be a perfect pot for hot chocolate and or coffee or tea, but I have tea in it today. But for children, this would be a wonderful little red pot. And then I have two other St. Nicholases that I put on. This is the Russian St. Nicholas. He's called Father Frost. And he's very beautiful. And he's got a bag of toys bringing to the children. I'll put him down here now. And then this is a very special. Some people believe that a lot of the customs came from Holland. And this is the Netherlands St. Nicholas. And his name, he has a different name. I have it written down because I have to read it. It's in Dutch. And it's Der Klaus. Wait. Sinterklaas. And that's the Netherlands. And he's very special. And you see he has a cross on his hat, on his mitre. And these are saints that are recognized as Christian saints doing good for others. Saint Lucia also, she was an Italian martyr in the early church, early centuries. And the Scandinavians loved her, and they adopted her as their patron saint for Christmas. And the big festival all over Scandinavia will be the girl with the candles. They'll choose one girl in the town that would hope to become, oh my, she wants to become the St. Lucia bride. And that's very special. And she comes down the aisle with her maidens, and then they have little boys coming carrying stars. Well, every year, our family goes up to Seattle to the Swedish Covenant Church, Bellevue and Pike. Everyone is invited. It's open to the public if you live nearby. It's this Sunday, December 4th, and it will be at 4 o'clock, and they will have the service. And it is a beautiful service. All the candles are real in the beautiful sanctuary. It's a 100-year-old church it's on the round, and it has a dome, and all the candles are lit, real candles, and all the women and men wear their Scandinavian costumes. The choir sings in Swedish, the most beautiful, beautiful Swedish songs, and really worth attending. And then afterwards, coffee and wonderful Yule bread, Julekaka bread with the cardamom bread from Larson Brothers Bakery in Ballard. They slice it thin and have wonderful goat's cheese and different cheese, coffee. And I feel it's the best way to start Christmas. And then for us, we've always driven all through Seattle to see the downtown Christmas lights. And over by the water, it's really beautiful too. So it's a lovely tradition. And I try to have my house decorated by the time I go to Lucia. I will confess, I am a little behind this year because last week, the Thanksgiving holiday, we went over to Montana and I did my tea talk from there. And we didn't get back until very late Sunday night, and then bang, the week starts. So I am catching up, but I have a goal to have my tree and the basic things up by the time I leave for that Lucia Bride event. Because I love to come home after that and have my house smell like Christmas. And I think the main things of Christmas, the scent of the evergreen or the balsam fir, the fresh cookies baking, the cinnamon, all of the wonderful scents in the air, that's Christmas. And you know, that's free. We need to get back to that. Just enjoy. I love to have a bar of soap in my powder room that has the balsam fir scent to it. I love that smell at Christmas. I love it so much. Well, this fur cape is actually keeping me warm today. And I'm matching my little Santa and Katerina dolls here. Well, before further ado, let's pour out. And I'll show you the treat after we pour out. And my cup is a very special English red and white china cup. I have a little collection of just all mismatched red and white china that I like to it all goes together. It's amazing. It all matches. So let's pour out. And this has a scene of the English countryside. And then I have this darling little cream pitcher. It looks big, but it's very little. I'll show you how. See, it's little. Let me pour out a little milk here, and let me compare it to the pot, and you'll see what I mean. This is just a little baby creamer, but it's so sweet. And now, let's have our tea. I have a fire going, a heater going, my fur on. I'm still chilled. Oh, this is good. There's only one way to stay warm. It's good, brisk, hot tea. Russia has to be one of the coldest countries in the world in the winter. They basically won 2 wars through their snow and frost. Napoleon and then World War II, the Germans, because no one could survive. They didn't know how to survive in that cold. Well, it's interesting because the big Russian samovars I have a couple here, they make the hot water, and all through the last couple hundred years, they would have a samovar in every home, and then the strong tea at the top, and you pour a little bit of tea, and then you pour the hot water. They knew that was the best way, the very best way to keep warm. And that's why they had that tea in the little glass cups, clear glass. Interesting. I've read a lot of Russian novels, and tea is the center of everything in the winter. Having that hot Russian tea. It's also the center of everything in England. And of course, coffee is the center in Scandinavia and probably the rest of Europe. But tea is there also. And I have a little treat to show you. Now, this is homemade from me. And it's the last one. I made a double batch, but I mailed them to my grandchildren. And then a little mouse in my home ate the others, but I've saved one for the tea table. And it is a homemade gingerbread cookie. And I just put the frosting and the sprinkles. Instead of cutting them out, I rolled them as balls and smashed them down, and then drizzled the icing and the sprinkles on them. You know, sometimes we get inventions when we run out of things. I didn't quite have enough molasses. I was running low on molasses. I thought, I can't stop this and go buy molasses. I had almost enough. But because of that, I think these cookies are more cakey, spongy, and everyone loves them. They're a little lighter. So Sometimes we find things out that are very special, and we just have to go with the flow and invent as we go along. Well, under my fur, I was going to take this off, but I'm kind of enjoying this wonderful fur, is my black velvet dress, and I have some jewels on. I just thought we have to get ready for Christmas, and I put some jewels on here and here to sparkle for the tea table starting December. And it will be very interesting to see how this month unfolds, because we started yesterday with snow, and that's unusual for us. We rarely get snow, maybe once a year in January. It's kind of fun. It melted quickly, but it's so beautiful. It covers, everything is so beautiful under the snow, because you don't see any of the rough edges. It's like God's love. God's love covers everything. There's a Bible verse that says, love covers a multitude of sins. And isn't that true? And I was listening and thinking about this word love, in the famous love chapter. Well, when I think of Christmas, all I can think of is love. It's so beautiful. It's the love of heart, romantic love, family love, God's love, bringing a Savior to the world. It's love. Well, in 1 Corinthians 13, the very end of it, and most of you know this, it says, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. I thought, why is that? Why is love the greatest? And then I heard someone share something that I thought was very profound. And this man said, love can give faith and love can give hope. But faith and hope, they don't give love. In other words, love is this powerful force that when we show God's love to others, we build their faith and their hope, particularly if it's a difficult person. And I've talked about this a lot in various times on this Tea Talk, that there are some people that are so easy to love, and there's some people that aren't. But the people that aren't are the people that need it the most. And so we have to be strong, and we have to recognize that God loves us, He forgives us, and so we are commanded to love others and forgive others. And that was the Sermon on the Mount. Turn the other cheek and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a big message. We've heard it all our lives. As little children, I remember in 4th grade, my teacher teaching us the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. It sounded so easy. It sounded so simple. As you grow older, you realize there can be challenges to that. But the classic message of that truth never changes. Just like Christmas. Christmas is classic, isn't it? Yes, it never changes. All the songs from even 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, we have old, wonderful carols that are totally relevant today, aren't they? That's how God's love is. It's totally relevant today. I would venture to say everyone listening to my Tea Talk today, including myself, we have people and situations that are not perfect. by the definition of perfect, but they can become beautiful, and we can have true success. And I believe the ingredient that never fails is love. Not just talking, but living it. There are people today that suffer, that I know that some of the waitresses or waiters or people that help you, they have difficult things in their lives. And maybe a waitress is taking a long time, or a waiter, or they get the wrong order. That's our chance to give them love and say, it's all right. You're doing a great job. You're working hard. Give them a smile. Give them a lift. And that can be taken into every conceivable area of our lives. Whether it's getting our car, our oil changed, our car repaired, even on a more personal level, we sometimes see people that don't smile and aren't happy, and we wonder why. Give them a smile. Give them love. Give them a good word. They need it more than anyone. They don't need criticism. They need kindness. I heard years ago something that has helped me very much throughout my entire life. It was a wonderful mentor, a psychologist, a Christian psychologist who my husband was trained under and he was mentored by. His name was Vern Lewis. Still good friends. They live halfway across America in Minnesota, but we're still in touch with Vern and Kathy, wonderful people. And Vern said one of the most profound things to my husband when he was just starting out in counseling as a psychologist. And Vern said, always remember, discernment builds bridges, but judgment cuts off. That's profound, because we are actually commanded by Jesus, and this is Christmas, this is his birthday, to judge not, that ye be not judged. We must really take that seriously. Not that we are naive. We can see things that aren't right, but choose to pray for that person. Choose to be kind to that person. It's so easy to cut people off, and it is not God's will. It's amazing. It's such an adventure to walk through life knowing that we have an answer, that we can give a prayer, we can give a kind word. This doesn't cost any money. This is so high. It's so much higher than money. Money flies away, but this is eternal. This changes lives forever. What a privilege. So I would like to say, I have a few little treasures to show you. And I thought, well, I am going to bring this. First of all, I wanted to show you, I'm going to put this little last ginger cake there. I don't know who's going to get that. And I want to hold up the tea tray again. But I want to show you my trivet. This is a Christmas silver trivet. Isn't that great? And I put it on my table, especially under a tea tray or something hot to preserve the table. Isn't that wonderful? Well, I have another treasure that I pulled out, and this is the beginning of Christmas. This is a very old tin that is very large. This is so big. What do you think? this is, have you ever heard of the Nuremberg Lebkuchen? That's the famous, I think it's a type of cookie, a Lebkuchen. I think it's the round Lebkuchen. It has the gingerbread and all it's a quarter of it is made out of ground nuts, raisins, citron. It's a fabulous thing. And I am going up to my little German shop to get some because I tried to make it once and the ingredients are just on and on and on. It's really not easy to make. But this is an old tin that, if you see the top, it was at one point filled with Nuremberg Lebkuchen, and people would order this from Germany, and it came in the mail. I think you can still order it, but it's like, whoa, it's really expensive. I never had received it as filled with cookies. I found this years ago at a thrift shop that I thought that will be perfect for Christmas cookies. And so it has scenes of Germany, and it's so beautiful. Well, let me show you what I decided to do with it. It's a loose lid like this. So it's not airtight enough to keep cookies in. You want cookies to be fresh in an airtight tin. So I thought this is perfect for the cookies I buy or treats for Christmas that are from the store. Let's see if I can show you. And it's nice to have on hand. This is chocolate Pfeffernuss from Germany, a little packet from a German bakery. I have that for a special company comes. And this is assorted gingerbread from Germany. So you see it's sealed. And then I have some little American, I have a son that loves these. These are just little inexpensive American holiday shortbread cookies. But once you open the package, then I just put I have very little clips I clip on so they don't, because that's another thing I learned over the years. You can never put two different kinds of cookies in the same tin because they will take each other away or they'll make them softer, the flavors mix. So you want to keep them tightly sealed if you use some of these. But the gingerbread and the Pfeffernuss are so sealed already with was trying to get my music back for you, but oh boy, technology is just kind of crazy, isn't it? We did live Christmas music for years and years, and that's complicated too, because that was getting all the instruments, all the Christmas music, all the music stands, all the children dressed in the van. I don't know how we did it. It was always a miracle every time, but it always worked out if we just had to be determined. But live music is the best if you can possibly get it or do it. And combinations are nice. We had a huge group and then we had small groups. And sometimes early on, my husband and I had professional jobs where I played the piano, he played the string bass, and we would hire a violinist or a flautist because our kids were too little to perform in those days. But that was fun, and people were so appreciative. Everyone loves Christmas music. It touches the heart. It opens people up. It softens. It tenderizes our heart. And that's the final thing I really wanted to talk about today is when I think of baby Jesus, I think of tenderness. And he wants us to keep a tender heart toward God, toward ourselves, and toward one another. It's a threefold thing. Often people think, oh yes, I have to look to God and I have to allow him to forgive me and of my sins. That's very true. But then there's another step that a lot of people forget. We have to forgive ourselves. And then we can forgive others. That's the threefold cord of success. Because you can tell how people treat others is how they think about themselves. Be kind to yourself. Be good to yourself. It's right in that golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do to you. So that means we are giving what we want to receive. And it all starts with receiving from God. Then really receiving and receiving His love to the point where we can love ourselves properly. Then we can love others. You know what? That's Christmas. That's Christmas. Let's enter this season with God's love filling our hearts. And let's give His love to others. It has been so special to be with you today. And I just really, truly pray you all have a fabulous week and make every day in December special. Okay. Well, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my Tea channel and please push the notification bell and you will be notified. And the share button, share with someone else. And the like button, that helps. Thank you. And I shall look forward to seeing you next time.